Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, April 26th. We're looking at Window Traders market profile of the ES and the NQ. This bull refuses to die or go away or retreat. We spent 10 time frames in the S&P at yesterday's low in the base of the price probe down from yesterday, right? We were talking in the room, well, who's winning? The bulls are going to say, well, you can't go anywhere. You really haven't, the inside day down, right? We all had inside days yesterday. Inside day down failed. And the bears are going to say, well, you can't get above the base of the price probe. And then, in the last 90 minutes, the three stooges, Curly, Larry, and Moe, what did they do? It's so clear here in ES. What happened every time the market went up here in F, G, H, I, and J? 5 time frames. What was happening? They were shorting it. They were getting paid. They were getting greedy. They were getting fat and happy. So what did they do? The more it went up and the more it couldn't get above the base of the price probe, really? What did they do? They got bigger. So what finally happened in K period? They got ripped apart as the market absolutely spiked, took their stops, momentum buyers just ripped them apart. I would venture to say whoever was shorting that up here for those 5 time frames, this is probably a conservative number to say half of them gave it all back and more. It's probably more than that because that's human nature. It's greed. So the ES now they ended up with overlapping a lower value after being lower most of the day. They end up with overlapping a lower value, raising POC. They only ended up 8 wide. They have an afternoon pullback, a price spike, which is above H&I's high. They held 1 tick of single prints and a price probe. Now volume stayed in a very tight range. We talked about this all day. It was like in a 2 to 4 point range all day down here. Look how far we got away from value and volume and TPO. So for this to continue tomorrow, what needs to happen? Bulls need to open above the base of, at least the base of the price spike. But here's the danger now. If you even open in the base of the price spike right here, you open up inside of value. So for my money's worth, that bulls want to open higher than that. The 80-20 rule came into play today. As ES and NQ both opened below value, so did righty. ES and NQ ripped to the other side of value. NQ missed. Got very close, but they missed. So, again, ES goes out with a probe, a spike, a small set of singles, 1 tick, and a pullback. NQ goes out with a probe. Their spike was rejected, an 11 wide POC, and an afternoon pullback. We're still holding the trend day from Friday. Now, I said this morning, you can call this whatever you want. But for me, it's a 3-day balance. Some people will only call it 2. For me, Friday's high and Friday's low are your balance. Unless, now we have 3 days to go in a week, so it's a long time to go. Unless, if we don't take out Friday's high or low, then whatever this week's high or low is might become your balance. But for now, it's a 3-day balance. Friday, Monday, Tuesday in ES, NQ, and righty. Okay? I had a decent day. Started off poor as they got me, unfortunately, when it looked like we were going to go get the overnight high. I took my usual 5 lot, and it came in hard on me and lost over, about 25 points. So put me in a hole early. Really, and I didn't do it the first time it got up there. I did it the second time it got up there. So it frustrated me to start off with a loss after I think I saw the market very well today. But unfortunately, I started off with a loss. However, I got it back. I did short A period after that to get the overnight POC. So I got, I made some back. Believe me, not what I lost on that long. But then I got long in a B period to get both A's high and the overnight high. And then on ebb and flow longs. Now we did try to go trend up in NQ a couple of times. They failed today. ES held by a tick. So B period paid me nicely on both the short to the overnight POC and then the longs. I was long in C period because we were holding single prints. And I got the IB high. So that was good. I was long in D period when it pulled back to the 144. Actually, D, E, and G, I longed it against the 144. I had a long in H, thinking it was an afternoon pullback. I period, I could have been a hero. I bought one at 06. I bought one at 96. And then I bought 8 at 84. Okay? I was long full boat. I made money on the trade. I sold the 84, but nothing what I could have made. I sold the 84 kind out at 92 for 64 points. I sold the 96 kind out at 500, and I ended up selling the 06 kind out at, I think, 13. So that ended up to be a very nice trade on that afternoon pullback. Now, again, in the back of my mind was, number one, yesterday, the way they kept pressing down. Number two, value was still overlapping lower. And number three, the indices weren't in our favor. But we were still holding the opening. We had the overnight high. We had the IB high. We had raised POC. So I thought today, hopefully they would hold it. I left for about an hour. I came back. I saw the market was attempting to spike. I didn't do anything in KLM. But this market is quite impressive. And then chart-wise, so here's the ES. We're in balance on the weekly. For us to come out of balance, you have to take out the all-time high. So balance rules are firmly in effect now on both the weekly and the daily for ES and Q, right? Same with, now Q's isn't even close to their balance high yet. ES is getting closer. But NQ has some work to do on both the weekly and the daily, but certainly more on the weekly. Volume, horrible, 48 million in SPY, 33 million in Qs. So the volume is not good, but at least the range, which was very small again to start, ended up getting extended by the Three Stooges. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening, rest up, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.